Hello, welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of May 9th, 2018. Let's get right into it. First up, we have Batman White Knight, number 8 of 8. Sean Murphy's last issue in this series. Really, really great stuff. I've already taken a chance to read it, and it's a fantastic read. If you hadn't checked out Batman White Knight, definitely pick it up when it comes out in a collection. And I'm getting the hardcover, an oversized hardcover, because hopefully they put one out, and it's awesome sauce. Sean Murphy, great job on Batman White Knight. Next up, we have Detective Comics, number 980. This continues the Batman Eternal story arc. The stuff going on in Detective has been really good. It's just a solid read overall. It's more of like a Bat family kind of team-up book, but it works really, really well. Let's see, James Tyrion IV is doing a great job on that title, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Next up, we have Flash 46. This is supposed to be kind of starting the Flash Wars stuff. So if you're curious about that, check this out. But if you haven't been checking out The Flash, it's been amazing. Williamson has done just a fantastic job with Flash. So I can't wait to see what happens with Flash Wars. Next up, we have Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, number 44. Dark Stars Rising continues in this, and Dark Stars are just awesome. The story Vendetti's telling right now is fantastic. Really, really good stuff. Next up, we have Immortal Men. This is from the DC New Age of Heroes. This is issue 2. It was okay. I don't quite remember what happened in issue 1, so I feel a little lost while I'm reading it. But for the most part, I enjoyed Immortal Men, so we'll see. Next up, we have Isola, number 2. I really enjoyed the first issue of this, so can't wait to dive into issue 2. But artwork's amazing, and the story seems to be pretty cool, so check that out if you haven't gotten a chance. Next up is a big book this week from Scott Snyder, Williamson, and Tyrion IV, drawn by Manipul, and that is Justice League No Justice number 1 of 4. What can I say? I read it before recording, and it is fantastic. If you can't get a copy of DC Nation, read the preview in DC Nation for No Justice. But Scott Snyder and Williamson and Tyrion IV, just an amazing job on this book. I'm super stoked to read the next issue, and it's weekly, so the next issue will be out next week. So yeah, cannot wait for that. Next up is Robert Kirkman's new series, and that's Oblivion Song. This is issue 3. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out Oblivion Song, you should. It's really good stuff. I got to preview a copy of the first 6 issues in a trade. Really good stuff. Cannot wait to dive into what happens after that trade, but I'm going back and reading what happened, and it's just really solid stuff. Next up, we have another Robert Kirkman book, and that's Outcast, number 35. His invasion story arc continues in this. Outcast is, again, a slow burn book, but it's really good. It's something that probably people would like in trade format, so if you haven't checked out Outcast yet, pick up that first trade and see if you like it. But it's definitely something that I would recommend as kind of like a not superhero thing, but if you're interested in kind of the occult, not really cult, but like exorcisms and all that stuff. Good stuff. Next up, we have Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 22. Liddell's been doing a good job on this book. I really enjoyed the dynamic of Red Hood, Bizarro, and Artemis. I think it's a really good, fun concept for the Red Hood and the Outlaws team. Yeah, good stuff. Next up, we have Meredith Finch's Rose, number 11. Really enjoying this series. Really good stuff. It's kind of the world is being built slowly. I really wish there was a little more world building in it, but for the most part, the character development is there, and it's just a good, fun story. So I believe the first trade is out. So if you're curious about Rose, pick up the first trade. Good stuff. Next up, we have Scooby Apocalypse number 25. This issue is pretty sad, so yeah, if you haven't read Scooby Apocalypse, it's fun. It's Scooby and the gang in a post-apocalyptic world of monsters and zombies and everything known to man horror-wise, and they're surviving. So Something big happens in this issue, and yeah, it's pretty sad. But I really enjoy Scooby Apocalypse. It's one of those books that I look forward to reading. It's a lot of dialogue-heavy stuff, so it's a little bit more of a time-consuming read, but I do enjoy it. It's fun. Next up is Jason Aaron and Jason Latour's Southern Bastards number 20. This book has been delayed like there's no tomorrow, so I was surprised that we actually got an issue of it. 19 came out a month or two ago. So they finished up whatever story arc they were doing. So we'll see how it continues and see if it can carry through. It's still good, but again, I think having delays that are as long as Southern Bastards has been, the book really suffers. So really hope Aaron and Latour can kind of finalize this and finish it up, so we can get a solid book. Next up, we have Suicide Squad number 41. This starts the Constriction Part 1. Williams is writing this. We'll see how it goes. I've been enjoying Suicide Squad for the most part. I think Suicide Squad is going to go from being bi-monthly to once a month, but I don't know when that change is taking place. But I still enjoy Suicide Squad. It's fun, and it's, a bunch of bad guys who, they don't do something, are going to get blown up. Although nobody really gets their head exploded in this. Good stuff. Next up, we have Wonder Woman number 46. This starts the Dark Gods story arc. The last story arc was really good. Robinson has been doing an amazing job with Wonder Woman. So if you have not yet checked it out, go grab that early Rebirth Rucka stuff, read that, and then just continue. It's good stuff. I did pick up some variants this week. First up on the variant list is the Batman White Knight number 8 variant. I got Harley there, being held by the Joker. And DC's now doing the Bear variant, or limited text variants. So there was one for Detective Comics 980. So I thought that one looked pretty cool, so I snagged that one up. They look cool. They're going to be a pain in the butt to file, but in back issues, but that's all right. We actually were shorted our copies of this one, which is Flash 45 from last a few weeks ago, so it finally came in, so I grabbed that one up. But Flash 46 from this week has a pretty bitchin' reverse Flash bear cover right there. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps number 44, I thought this cover was really cool, so I snagged this one up. Sorry, Jim. And Isola had a variant, or a B cover, so I grabbed that one because I liked it. I didn't actually grab both copies of number 1. I preferred one over the other, but I was torn. Both of them really good this week. Justice League No Justice only had one variant, and that was the blank cover. So if you want to snag up a blank cover for No Justice, go ahead. Suicide Squad, of course, had a bear cover that I thought was pretty cool. Kind of in line with what the main cover was. The Wonder Woman 46 cover is cool looking, but I really wish they would have told the artist, and so it had gotten shifted up a little, because there's a lot of dead space up there. So yeah, not the best use of the bear cover, but what can you do? And finally, for this week, I picked up the Detective Comics Rebirth Deluxe Edition hardcover number 2. This collects issues, let's see, where is it? 950 to 962. So, yep, good stuff. I can't wait to at least put it on the shelf. I'll hopefully reread it at some point. So that's pretty much it for this week. I know I really kind of only focus on DC and Image and Valiant here on my pull lists. I wanted to let you guys know that Marvel books, I stopped actually buying single issue Marvel books about 8 years ago. The reason why is because they were changing up their cover stock and increasing their prices, and a lot of weird publishing stuff that didn't make any sense. The amount they charged for trades versus the cost of the books. To me, Marvel was really kind of just trying to milk every dime out of their customer base. So for me, I kind of just stopped buying Marvel single issues. I do read the Marvel books. Yes, I know. I do read Marvel books occasionally, single issue, if I get a chance. I did check out Avengers number 1 or Legacy number 691. It was okay. I wasn't a big fan of Ed McGuinness's artwork. But the story was okay. I still need to read the Free Comic Book Day Avengers book to see how, like, what they do there. But Jason Aaron's a great writer. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the Avengers. But for the most part, Marvel books just don't entertain me like they used to. There's so many gimmicks that Marvel does for their variant covers and the renumbering. It kind of just becomes a headache. So for me, I kind of pick and choose what I want to read. I do pick up a lot of Marvel stuff that I enjoy that's more modern or current, but only when it comes out in an oversized deluxe hardcover or in an omnibus format. So like Jason Aaron's run on Thor, I really want them to come out with omnibuses of that so I can pick those up. Like, I'm behind on Thor by a handful of issues. I am reading a lot of the Star Wars books, but I kind of stopped. So I'm going to get caught up. But yeah, for the most part, it's just Marvel's over the years just done so much to kind of make me feel ostracized that they don't really care about their customer base. So that, it's really difficult for me to justify buying something when it doesn't really even feel like it's entertaining or worth my time. I have not yet checked out the Hunt for Wolverine. It was supposed to be like a kind of short little quick thing, and then they turned it into a bunch of mini series with this main like series, and to me it's just you're convoluting way too much stuff. You're trying to pull everybody in and say what's going on with everybody during the Hunt for Wolverine so we can exploit people buying more issues of stuff they don't necessarily need. So to me, I'm not super excited about it because I can blatantly see the gimmick that they're pulling, which is very, very disappointing. So yeah, a lot of people say, well, DC does this and other companies do this. They do to a point, but again, I think DC is better at letting at least retailers and customers know like what's coming up, what they're in for, all that stuff. Their communication is a lot better than Marvel's is with retailers and customers. So yeah, not to mention the fact that it's a lot of the titles that Marvel has been putting out, not my cup of tea. I've tried a lot of the stuff that they were experimenting with, and it just wasn't something that was for me. I could see the demographic that would enjoy it, and I really want that demographic to be picking that up and reading it. But again, it's not aimed at me or my demographic. So yeah, it's difficult to say, well, I'm going to buy this because it's why I don't like it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If it's something you don't like, don't buy it. And that goes across all platforms for comics. So yeah, I don't know. I felt like I needed to give a little like rant on why I don't really review Marvel books so much or why I don't have Marvel books on my pull list. Feel free to leave comments down in the comment section below about the Marvel titles you're checking out. I know a lot of people are really into Thanos right now. Donnie Cates is doing. There are people like, oh, he's just killing it. I read the first issue of his and was and then I read another issue randomly, and I could see the appeal there, but again, it feels like they're just mashing characters together to see if it'll work, specifically the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So I'm okay, but now the Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to get his own series. All right, well, that's going to be a mini. It's going to be a mini. It's not going to go any further than a mini. So I don't really have any interest. But again, let me know if there's anything that you're checking out that you're like, you should probably read this, and I'll see if I can get a chance to read it. A lot of people forget that there's a lot of comic books to come out, and it takes a fair amount of time just to read the stuff you really enjoy. And so to read everything, would take way too long, and there's no way I could stay caught up with the amount of books that comes out and stuff. So, but let me know what you think about some of the Marvel titles that are coming out. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Again, like usual, leave your comments down in the comment section below. what your poll list's getting, any questions, all that stuff. I try and get to those as often as I possibly can, but being a single dad makes it a little difficult. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 354, where we talk sales chart numbers for April. And spoiler, Action Comics 1000 was at the top of the list. Duh. And there's a bunch of Marvel books that actually hit the top 10 this month, but again, it's mainly due to incentive variant covers pushing those numbers way above what they need to be. So yeah. But I know. I jabbed at Marvel. I do it. I know. But being a retailer and seeing the retail side of it, it is super annoying to deal with having to figure out how we're going to order this book so we don't have stock just sitting, because when we have stock just sitting, that means we paid for something. If it's not selling or we didn't make our money back, then we're just sitting on this product. And if we're sitting on product and we made our money back, we're paying to store that product. So it's not beneficial for us to have like a ton of extra copies of these things. So when they do those weird variant incentives, especially on the number ones, it gets annoying. It really annoying to deal with Marvel math, as I call it, because it's just they're rigging the system so that they get the best bang for their buck, which is understandable. I understand a company wants to do that, but they've done it over and over and over again and again and again, and it's slowly the numbers are getting less and less and less. So the returns aren't as much as what they used to be. So hopefully they come to their senses, but who knows? We also talked some other stuff on there. Yeah. So I have not yet actually gotten a chance to watch Infinity War again. I may or may not. We'll see. But I am super excited for Deadpool. 2 comes out next week. Super excited for that. Got tickets to go Thursday night. So yeah, super stoked. And then we have Solo towards the end of the month. So a lot of movies coming up around this time that I need to go check out. So, but yeah, there'll be a link in the description below for you to listen to episode 354 of the Comics Conspiracy Podcast. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with paying our hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and getting product. So thank you very much, guys. It helps out a lot. Comic books are not cheap. So yeah, thank you very much for allowing us to get stuff we enjoy so we can let you guys know what we like, and maybe you check it out as well. Yeah, if you're curious, definitely check out Isola or Oblivion Song. Let me know what you think of those titles specifically, since they're fairly new. If your shop doesn't have a copy of Oblivion Song number 1, go to comicsconspiracy.biz and you can order it online. We have plenty of copies of Oblivion Song number 1, so order it and we can mail it out to you. The person that normally mails out is me, so and I constantly am battling the post office, so I pack my whenever I pack packages to mail, especially comic books, it's like I'm packing China, is what one customer described it on Twitter as. And yeah, it's because I have to combat the post office in Florida. They literally treat packages like that Ace Ventura opening scene. It's sad. So yep, that's it for this week. See you next week for more Justice League No Justice. Yes! Alright.